Hello and welcome to the Quick News Questions with the Cadillac News. My name is Emily from the Digital Media Production class at the Wexford Misaki Career Tech Center. I'm joined by Matt Seward, editor of the Cadillac News. So, Mr. Seward, we had some pretty cool stories this week in the Cadillac News. Let's start with Toys for Tots. What other locations are there for the collection boxes?
Well, they're actually looking for locations still. So I don't know where else they're going to be yet. Typically, they've been, at some stores downtown and places like that. You see them pop up. So hopefully we'll have more information on that coming up soon on where they're going to be.
All right. So for the academic intervention, we saw Lake City schools. What other schools are involved in this?
Yeah, so I think most school districts have some sort of intervention program. Like Cadillac, I think they work with their honor students, or their honor students work with other students. McBain and Manton have similar type programs, I believe. But I think just about every school district has some sort of program in place to help.
All right. So there was a pneumonia story. How do your reporters handle medical-related stories?
Sure. So with all of our health stories, we talk to someone in the medical profession. And they explain what the issue is, how bad it is, and generally what people in the community need to be aware of, how they can protect themselves, that type of thing. With the pneumonia story that we had this week, we had heard through different places that pneumonia there were several cases of pneumonia in the area, which is unusual, or soon to be unusual. And we had called Mackinac Trail Pediatrics, and they had contacted a patient and said, would you be willing to talk about your experience? And they were, and so that's how we got that story, which is great. And a lot of our stories, health-related stories, come through, someone will call us and say, I know, like, someone in my family is dealing with this terrible disease. Be nice to let people know what's going on, or that type of thing. So a lot of them come that way. And in that situation, we always try and get a hold of someone in the medical profession to help explain what the situation is and what can be done and what people in the community can do to help out maybe that patient, maybe because obviously medical expenses can be quite a bit, and so they might need help financially. So we might have included in the story how to help, if someone wants to help them, they can. Also how to protect yourself, that type of thing, or how the community can protect themselves. So hopefully that answers it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So regarding winter tourism, is Northern Michigan becoming more of a summer tourism spot than a winter one?
I think historically it's been more of a summer tourism spot, especially when you look, outside, throughout the whole northern Michigan area. Like you look at Cadillac, the campgrounds filled, obviously, during the summer, and traffic is much worse in downtown, that type of thing. But I do think, we're seeing is there's less snowmobilers coming up, mainly because we just haven't had the snow. The tourist industry is trying to do some things like marketing to ATV riders, and there's a growth in that. Some of the businesses that we talked to for that story have noticed that there's been more traffic because of ATV riders coming up to the area. So I think to a degree, the summer is bigger than the winter, but the winter is still very important, especially for certain businesses that are really geared toward winter tourism. So, all right. So What story did you find interesting in the Cadillac News this week?
So out of the stories that I have seen, I do find the Toys for Tots stories to be the most interesting because it like talks about a fundraiser that helps people who are in need and who don't have all the resources they need. So it's nice to see like people coming together for a common goal of like getting toys for kids who may not be able to afford it.
Yeah, it is a great project that they have going. There's also, I think it's called the Toy Trot that the toy store in downtown Cadillac hosts coming up in November. I want the second week or third weekend in November, second weekend in November, I believe. So that's coming up too. So yeah, that is fun. So what type of stories are you hoping to read in the Cadillac News?
So maybe more like art related stories like music or stuff like that. Like I know in Cadillac we have a band, I think it's the Clam Lake Band.
Okay.
So maybe a story on them or like something they're doing. Because I don't really see a lot of things that apply to like my interests like and hobbies like art and music and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it would be nice to have more stories.
So when you say art, we've done, I think it's with like the Clam Lake Dock and Dredge Silver Coronet Band. Is that the one you're talking about? I think that's, then it's I'm sure that's not the right name, but it's close, I think. So you're looking for that one. Okay. So we've done, we usually do something on, we at least promote that they have a concert coming up. And that's usually spring, summer. I don't know if they have many concerts during the fall, winter. And then with art, we do cover Up North Arts. Have you heard of that?
I think yeah.
Okay, so they have arts classes and some other projects there. So we do cover stuff like that, but is there something else that we're missing? Are you talking like at the high school level?
It would be nice to have more high school stories of like maybe different clubs and stuff, like what they're contributing to like the community too. Okay. Because like there's a lot of coverage on like sports, but the different schools have a lot more than just sports.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So maybe checking out like what does the Animal Wellness Club of like coming up, or maybe the Green Club, just like more on like what's coming up.
Sure.
And what they provide for the community as well.
Yeah, I would recommend any of those clubs. If they have an event or a story that they want us to share, just contact us, let us know. And I think those are great ideas. And, we would sure we'd love to do them. Those are good ideas.
So what's coming up next in the Cadillac Days?
So I don't know if you get the paper today. There's we have a story about Oasis Family Resource Center had their candlelight vigil last night. That's to raise awareness of domestic violence in the area and what Oasis does to help domestic violence victims. So that's in the paper today. There's we had a story coming up this weekend about what's coming up at the City Council on Monday. We call that a pre-seed, and there's quite a bit coming up at the City Council coming up this and Monday's meeting. And so later in the week, we'll have more stories about what action happened at the City Council meeting. So like I said, it's a big meeting. There's quite a few issues coming up, and it should be quite interesting over the next week. We also have a neat feature story coming up about an ultra runner. This guy who runs like 50 miles, which is quite a ways to run. So we'll have stories, that story coming up too. So it looks like a really good week, busy week for us. So, yeah.
All right, nice. Thank you.
Sure, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Go ahead and visit your Cadillac newsstand to get some more Cadillac newspapers for more stories on the Cadillac News, or visit their website at cadillacnews.com.